the Goture camping stove. This is a really cool stove. As you can see, it's got a little tripod set up here where you can basically fold in the legs, or if you're going to keep it in a more permanent setting inside like a shed or something, you can actually drill them right into the base or the wood. And then if you go up here, you got the little smokestack. It's pretty long. I've noticed it's kind of wobbly a little bit, so it's kind of like a bunch of just a stack of pipes. So you probably need some of that. It's like thermal tape that goes around it. But pretty cool setup. Spin this off, take that out, see what's going on inside. It's also got a little side view window to see the fire. And then if you want to add some air, if that's not putting out enough, you've got a little latch here where you can clip and lock it and just kind of leave it open a little bit and it'll get more air in there. So that's like a new addition to this. And then you can also shut it and lock it. And that's the inside of it. And then the smoke will basically hit the top of here, follow up the easiest pathway up to out the smoke, this little smokestack. And yeah, preview window right there. It's kind of cool. I'm gonna fire this up and test it out, see how it works. You can see what the heat's like that comes off of it. And then we'll see if it's suitable to stick in our little shed up on our land, and if it's gonna keep me warm when it gets cold at night. The thing I worry about is that this will have an issue of having to babysit it. So basically going back and adding logs constantly in order to keep it going. I'm thinking about adding like a rack in here or something like that, so that it can get some air that goes underneath the wood to help it burn, or just be better at when I stack the logs and stuff inside it. But we'll see how it works out. Pretty cool though. No, we got enough in there. So this cool is that you can take the bark off of some of these logs and peel it off right off of the actual log, break it in little tiny pieces, push it in there, and just basically create like a little base, so that you got your logs in there, you got your kindling, all that stuff. That'll take off really fast, and then it's just basically keeping it going. So we'll cover that so it doesn't, if you were inside a cabin, you want to cover this lid so that it doesn't go filling up your house with smoke, or your cabin with smoke, or anything like that, or your tent. If you have one of those little portable tents. And so we'll get it going. We'll be able to see it right through the little preview window, and then check it out. But I can already see the issue of making sure that all the logs are cut to a certain dimension, and then having a stack of them off to the side, so that you can feed it through the night. So it's a little bit more labor intensive than just having it's a little more labor intensive than having a larger Abby, get your nose out of there. A larger wood burning stove, but it'll work. It'll serve its purpose. So let's light it up and see what's going on. All right, so yeah, we already got it going. We just lit it. I noticed the smoke kind of tried to escape a little bit through the top initially until I closed this, right? It looks like it's kind of dying out a little bit. Well, no, it's going. But as you can see, there's still smoke that's coming through the top of this part until it comes out the top here, which it is. There's smoke coming out. So that's good. But just being able to position that just right to where there's not a lot of smoke coming through there. This might not be a viable option, so we might have to get a different one. This is more maybe for outside than inside. It's supposed to be an inside camp stove, so you don't really want to have a bunch of smoke coming in like that. The flue is wide open, so this means it's up, when it's up and down, it means it's wide open. If I was to close it, it will slow the burn, and we want to have as much oxygen as we can right now while getting it going. It looks like it's kind of dying out, so it needs air. So we'll just open that up and see what it does. it's doing its thing still. Let's just open this up just to see here what's going on. Looks like it's just burning on top, so we gotta make sure that we catch this other stuff down here. Let's try to jump in there real quick and line all that up. There we go. That's a little bit better. Let's put on that first little setting so it can still suck in oxygen. See if that gets going. But maybe once it gets really going hot and stuff, it won't smoke as much throughout the top here. So we'll see if it improves as we keep this thing going. But so far so good. So now we got some good smoke coming out through the top of the chimney there. It's doing its thing. It's a good sign. And then down here, it's just taking in the oxygen, so it's actually not even smoking out now, which is good. So yeah, pretty cool. We decided to cheat a little bit. We added some lighter fluid. It's going now, so hopefully we can get that log going, and it'll be nice and steady. So far, no smoke coming out of the intake, which is nice. But there was a little bit of smoke at first. So you want to have the door to your cabin or whatever it is, or your tent open while you're getting this stuff going, so that you get some good oxygen flow. And then once it gets rocking and rolling and you got some nice hot coals burning in there, it should do a great job. And I can feel a good, decent heat off of it. I feel like in a smaller space, this will work pretty well. All right, getting this this wood camp stove going. Getting smoky right here because we got the little camp exhaust right here. It's not too tall. Well, it's good 7-8 feet tall, but it's working out pretty well. Little camp stove. I can feel the heat, maybe a foot away. But I can tell that in a smaller space, in no time it would heat up the whole room, no problem. Probably even have to crack it open your tent or your shed or whatnot, just so that you can let some nice good oxygen flow come through. But so far it's been pretty cool. It's nice, it's going. So just gotta make sure that you babysit it a little bit. But that's the only issue I've seen so far, is just having to babysit it. So it's tiny. I think for something permanent or a permanent structure, you might want to go with something a little bit taller. Overall, I would say that for almost 200 bucks, it's a good stove. It's a good stove to start out with. But again, something taller, bigger, a little bit wider, you know, like a regular wood burning stove or something. You can search on like Craigslist and, you know, places like that where you can find something that's a little bit more appropriate for, you know, a larger cabin area. But you know, if you're freezing and you're cold, this thing will keep you warm, and it will, you know, it will do the job. I mean, it's working. I mean, we got smoke, people. So I wanted to do a test on this before I took it up to the land, and it's doing its job. But yeah, for 189 bucks, no, it was a good buy. One more thing, on this smokestack, you're gonna want to make sure that you put some kind of thermal tape around it, just to keep it, if it's gonna be more of a permanent kind of thing, just to keep these from falling around, or if it's windy outside, I could see that being a problem and having them possibly blown over or something. So that would be a concern as well, because they just basically slide in. of variety of meats in here. There's some chicken, some tri-tip, and some ribs, and all that stuff. It's working. No smoke, with the exception of the stuff coming off the meat. So, actually works really well, and I can really feel the heat now coming off of it. Now that it's had a chance to warm up a good 2-3 feet. So 2 feet easy.